All right, welcome to the second in-class demo with configurations. If you open up the uh, next file, working configs, you'll see something that looks like a motor here, and we're going to get right into it. And we're going to create a couple configurations, and we're going to call this first one keyway. I just backed up. One thing to notice is on these advanced options, you'll see here the default is going to be suppress new features and mates. And what that means is when this is checked, if you've got 8 or 10 other configurations in this file, it means that if you make a change to another configuration, it will not be automatically made to this configuration. So just another way that we can control different configurations with SolidWorks. So go ahead and hit the green check. Let's add a second configuration, and we'll call this one ports, Ports. Green check mark, and we'll leave this one active for now. All right, next we want to come over here to the right side, and we want to come in here to our design library, and we're going to click on this, and I'm going to go through something just in case. Everyone should have this, the files folders that they need in here. Every once in a while, someone's installation doesn't go right and they don't have it. So if you don't have it, I'm just going to show you a series of steps on how you can get it. And so I've got Windows 11 and down, down towards the bottom of, let me just see here. Towards the bottom of your screen, you're going to have this File Explorer. You open that up. You're going to come to View. You come down to Show, and you want to make sure hidden items are checked. Okay. After that, you're going to go back into SolidWorks. We're going to go up here into Options. Under System Options, we want to come down to File Locations. And then under Folders, we want to pick Design Library. And then we want to click Add. And we want to come over here to the left. We want to come down to Windows, C Drive. We want Program Data. We want SolidWorks. I've got SolidWorks 2025 installed. I'm going to click on that. Design Library. I want to select that. Double click on this. We want all that. So we're just going to leave that. We'll select this folder. And now you can see that it enters it in there. And then we would hit OK. It says, would you like to make the following changes to your search path? We're going to say yes. And do I want to allow this device to make changes to my app? Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to come over here and click on my design library. You'll probably need to hit this refresh, this blue button here, and then you'll see design library. And then when I click on the down arrow, I've got all those different folders that were in there. So we're going to look at features, and then under inch, and we want fluid power ports, and we're going to open that. And I've got 2 here. So if we pick this first one here, this SAE J926, we just drag it over to here. And it's going to open a box up here of some more information. And so that component has its own set of configurations, like we've made configurations. And so we're going to select this 516.24. And then it's saying this references, it says edge 1. And so we're going to select this. And what that is when they made that, that is their reference edge to center this on something, a boss. And so I'm selecting this boss here. And what that does is it's going to center that port on that boss. Where this placement plane was, we picked the top face of this. Now I can link this to a library part, meaning if someone goes in, someone else who designed that port and changes it, it's automatically going to link to this part, and it's going to change it in our part because now they're linked. If I need to, I can override the size dimensions, maybe for this specific part that we're making. But it also gives me information, dimensional information about that part. And so we're going to click OK. And if I switch over here from my configuration manager over to my feature tree, I can see now that SAE Jade 926-1 has been added to my feature tree. And so that also saves an awful lot of time of not having now to draw all those features and configure it onto our part. All right, let's roll this over and we'll put that other port in. And so I'm going to come back up to my design library, and this time I'm going to take this square part, I'm going to drag this over. And it's kind of asking me the same thing. I've already selected that face. For this one, we want the 716/20 configuration. I'm going to link it. And now this one, the references, where before it just wanted an edge, and this one's got two locating edges, and it's showing, when I highlight this one, it's showing one edge, and when I highlight the other one, it'll highlight another edge. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this first edge, and then it highlights the second one. It's saying, I want you to pick this edge in the back. And so we'll rotate this around and we'll pick this edge. And it puts that in there. And you can see that it's not centered. We have the option, though, of now it's got these locating dimensions. I can come down here and edit this, and it shows me the dimension. And so we're going to make this one 0.5. And this one, this locating dimension, we are also going to make 0.5. And now it centers that in the middle of that square boss. All right, let's hit OK. And you can see in this configuration that we did, we've got both ports in there. And they've been added to the feature tree, and they're both unsuppressed. And so now if I go back to my configuration manager, and I go back up to the default, and I double click on that to make that active, you can see that they've disappeared on the part. And if I go to my feature tree, they've been added, but they've been suppressed. And we can go back to our configuration manager, and the keyway will be the same way. And so they've been suppressed there too. So that was that check mark in that box that I mentioned before, where it said any changes made to this configuration will be specific to this configuration and will not spread across the other configurations. And so that's exactly what has happened here. So make sure this keyway is the working configuration. And then we're going to go back to the design library. Let's flip this a little bit this way. And this time we're going to select keyways. And we want a rectangular key seat. We're going to take this rectangular key seat and we're going to drag it onto this front face here. And it's asking us which configuration for size. We're going to pick 0.687 by 0.1875. And now it's asking us for a reference. And so we're going to pick this front edge here, this ring. And now we can configure this. So it's asking us a distance from value. Let's move this out a little bit. So distance from end face, angle from vertical, length of slot. And so we're going to change this distance from end face to 0.25. If for some reason your length of slot doesn't show, then just hit your down arrow and it should appear. But we want this to be 0.75. And then we're going to hit OK. Green check mark. So that's how we can use the design library with different configurations. And with this one, one thing we want to make sure we do is we go in here and we'll rebuild all our configurations. And if we wanted to, we could unsuppress those ports if we wanted them in this one. But again, it just gives us different options. So go ahead, save this part, and you're going to hand this one in.